Hello, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt like giving, caring, or trying harder would make someone love you more, this video is for you. Today we're diving into a powerful truth. Men are drawn to women who master the art of detachment. But let's get one thing straight. Detachment isn't a game. It's not about ignoring texts, playing hard to get, or pretending you don't care. Absolute detachment is about something more powerful. Emotional independence, self-worth, and control over your happiness. Too often, women fall into the trap of over-giving, thinking that if they prove their love, they can make a man stay. But the reality? Clinging suffocates love. And a woman who stands firm in her energy, she is magnetic. In this video, we'll explain why detachment isn't about pushing love away. It's about stepping into your true power. We'll explore how your energy speaks louder than words, why overanalyzing kills attraction, and how embracing silence can completely shift the dynamic in your relationship. So stay with me until the end, because this might change how you see yourself and love forever. Let's get started. Men are instinctively drawn to women who exude an air of self-possession, a quiet confidence that suggests she is complete within herself. When a woman is overly invested too soon, clings tightly, and seeks reassurance before it is earned, it has the opposite effect of what she intends. Instead of deepening attraction, it creates pressure. Instead of making a man want to pursue her, it makes him want to pull away. This is why detachment is so powerful, not as a game or a manipulation tactic, but as a reflection of genuine inner security. A woman who is detached in the right way does not seek constant validation because she validates herself first. She does not chase because she understands that attraction cannot be forced or bargained for. She does not overextend, overgive, or over-apologize in an attempt to secure a man's affection. Instead, she moves through life with the quiet assurance that she is enough, whether or not someone recognizes it. This kind of detachment is not coldness, but indifference or emotional unavailability. It is the ability to love fully without becoming dependent on another's actions for happiness. There is an undeniable magnetism to a woman who carries herself this way. When she does not react impulsively to a man's shifts in attention, does not fall into patterns of overanalyzing, and does not let his moods dictate her own, she becomes infinitely more attractive. He begins to wonder what makes her so secure. He starts to see her as someone with him by choice, not out of need. And that is what makes her irresistible. The power of detachment is not in withholding affection or playing hard to get. It is in understanding that true confidence comes from within. When a woman controls her emotions rather than being controlled by a man's attention, she naturally commands more respect, admiration, and ultimately a more genuine connection. And this creates a silent but powerful force, an energy that needs no words but can be felt. Before a word is spoken, a glance is exchanged, or a conversation begins, something else has already made its presence known. It lingers in the air, shaping perceptions, influencing interactions, and setting the tone for everything that follows. This is energy, the unspoken force that speaks louder than words, the invisible yet undeniable current that draws people together or pushes them apart. Attraction isn't built solely on physical appearance or carefully chosen words. It's not about having the perfect pickup line or wearing the right outfit. It's about presence, how someone carries themselves, and the silent but unmistakable signal they send into the world. People don't just listen to what you say, they feel who you are. A man doesn't need to hear a woman say she's confident. He senses it in the way she moves, in how she looks at him, in the effortless way she occupies space without seeking permission or approval. Likewise, a woman doesn't need a man to tell her he is secure. His energy speaks before he ever does. But just as confidence is felt, so is insecurity. Neediness, desperation, and self-doubt don't need to be vocalized to be known. They seep into interactions, creating an unspoken tension that repels rather than attracts. A woman who overthinks every text, anxiously waits for a response, and crafts messages designed to elicit a reaction rather than express a thought. She may believe she is being subtle, but her energy betrays her. The dynamic shifts when a man senses she is seeking validation rather than simply enjoying the exchange. Attraction fades, replaced by obligation or indifference. True confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to announce itself, nor does it demand recognition. It exists in the quiet certainty of someone who knows they are enough. A confident woman does not chase, she allows others to approach her. She is not waiting for a man to decide her worth. She moves through life as if she already knows it. She doesn't overanalyze every conversation, doesn't seek hidden meanings in delayed responses, and doesn't let someone else's attention dictate her mood. She is secure in knowing that her presence is valuable, whether acknowledged or not. This is what makes confidence magnetic. When a woman radiates certainty, she becomes someone people want to be around, not because she is trying to impress, but because she doesn't need to. The same is true for men. A man who stands firm in himself does not seek approval and moves through life with quiet assurance. His energy speaks volumes, drawing in those who recognize strength when they see it. Words can be deceptive, appearances can be misleading, but energy never lies. It is felt before it is seen, understood before it is spoken. Ultimately, it is not the carefully chosen words or the perfectly timed gestures that determine attraction. It is the silent, undeniable pull of someone who knows exactly who they are. But that confidence will be stifled if our minds become trapped in a spiral of overanalysis. Attraction is meant to be effortless, a natural pull between two people that develops through shared experiences, unspoken chemistry, and the subtle dance of emotions. Yet many men fall into the destructive habit of overanalyzing every interaction, dissecting text messages, second-guessing their tone, and searching for hidden meanings in a woman's words. This relentless overthinking doesn't strengthen attraction, it suffocates it. Instead of allowing the connection to unfold organically, they become trapped in their minds, turning simple moments into complex puzzles that don't need solving. A woman can sense when a man is overthinking. It manifests in his hesitations, nervous energy, and inability to remain present. A man who constantly questions whether he said the right thing or worries about how she perceives him unknowingly shifts the dynamic. He stops being the confident, engaging presence that first caught her attention and instead becomes preoccupied with controlling outcomes, desperately trying to avoid missteps. Attraction doesn't thrive in an environment of self-doubt and anxiety. It flourishes in spontaneity, in unforced conversations, in the confidence of someone who doesn't need constant reassurance. Men who overanalyze often believe they are being strategic, thinking one step ahead and carefully curating every move. But in reality, they are draining the energy out of interactions. Instead of enjoying the moment, they are consumed by imaginary fears, worrying if a delayed response means she's losing interest, stressing over whether a joke landed the right way, and replaying past conversations in search of mistakes. But real connections don't require this level of scrutiny. A genuinely interested woman isn't looking for perfection or analyzing every tiny detail. She enjoys the experience, feeling drawn to someone confident enough to let things flow. Confidence is what separates men who succeed in relationships from those who struggle. It's not about arrogance or calculated moves. It's about trust. Trusting that if a connection is meant to develop, it will. Trusting that attraction doesn't require over-explanation or excessive effort. Trusting that the best way to hold a woman's interest is not by over-analyzing her actions, but by being fully present and engaged in his life. When a man shifts his focus away from his happiness and places it entirely on decoding a woman's behavior, he loses his power. She stops seeing him as someone intriguing and begins to sense his insecurity. A woman doesn't want a man trapped in his thoughts, constantly searching for hidden meanings in her words or actions. She wants someone who is grounded in reality and who enjoys the moment without needing guarantees about the future. She is drawn to a man who is so confident in himself that he doesn't need to analyze whether she likes him, because he already assumes she does. That kind of self-assurance is magnetic. It allows interactions to unfold without pressure, without expectation, without the weight of over-analysis slowing everything down. Attraction is simple when left alone, but complicated when dissected. A man too focused on controlling every aspect of a relationship will never truly experience its full potential. The most powerful thing he can do is let go of the need for certainty and trust that if he is fully present, fully engaged, and genuinely enjoying himself, she will feel it too. Overthinking has never built attraction. It only destroys it. And in that simplicity, another powerful element emerges: quiet strength. There is an unspoken force in silence that words can never replicate. It is not passivity, nor is it surrender. It is control, precision, and the ability to dictate the emotional rhythm of a relationship without ever needing to demand it. Those who lack emotional discipline will rush to fill the silence with explanations, justifications, or desperate attempts to be understood. But those who understand its power recognize that silence is often the loudest response, the one that forces reflection and cannot be ignored. When emotions run high, the instinct to react is almost irresistible. A misplaced word, a moment of frustration, an impulsive outburst, all give away control, revealing vulnerability at the worst possible moment. Reacting without thought shifts power into someone else's hands, allowing them to manipulate the situation, dictate the tone, and steer the conversation in a way that serves their interests. But when silence enters the equation, it disrupts this dynamic. It forces the other person to sit with their thoughts, wonder, and fill the void themselves, instead of relying on an immediate response to guide them. Absence speaks in ways that presence never could. When someone is always available, responding and explaining, their value is taken for granted. But the moment that availability disappears, the balance shifts. A man who once assumed a woman's attention was constant and unwavering will suddenly find himself questioning. The absence creates space for reflection, realization, and heightened awareness of what was once so quickly given. Silence makes a man reevaluate a woman's worth in a way that words never could. This is why emotional control is an unshakable form of strength. Not everything demands a response, and not every situation is worth energy. There is power in knowing when to engage and when to step back. When silence is used strategically, it creates a presence, even in absence. It lingers in the mind, unsettles assumptions, and forces the other person to confront their actions without the comfort of an immediate reaction. In the end, silence is not about withdrawal. It is about shifting the dynamic in a way that commands respect rather than seeking validation. It is the difference between chasing and being pursued, explaining and being understood without words, and being an option and irreplaceable. The moment a woman masters the art of silence, she ceases to be just another presence in a man's life. She becomes the absence that he cannot ignore. It is in this absence that true attraction is born. The importance of mystery and independence cannot be understated, because attraction is not built on availability, but expectation. The more something feels like it has to be earned, the more valuable it becomes. This is a fundamental truth in all human relationships, but it is especially true in romantic dynamics. When a woman makes herself too accessible, when she is always just a call or text away, when she drops everything to please a man, she inadvertently reduces the excitement that makes attraction thrive. Predictability leads to complacency, and nothing reduces desire faster than the absence of challenge. A woman with a whole life not centered around a man carries a natural allure. She moves purposefully, has ambitions extending beyond relationships, and maintains a rich and fulfilling world. This isn't about playing games or intentionally creating distance. It is about being so deeply engaged in her pursuits that a man must work to earn a place in her life. She does not pause her journey for romance. Instead, she invites those who can keep up with her to walk alongside her. This kind of woman does not chase, nor does she cling. She is present but never desperate, warm but never dependent. Creating space in a relationship fuels attraction because it keeps a man on his toes. He values it more when he knows that time with her is not guaranteed. He remains engaged if he feels that her attention is something he must continually invest in. This is why relationships that start with an intense but unchecked availability often fade quickly. A man who never has to earn a woman's time will eventually take it for granted. When there is no mystery, no sense of discovery, the spark that once existed begins to dim. Attraction is not just about physical appeal or compatibility. It is about energy. A woman who radiates confidence in her independence carries an unmistakable presence. She does not rely on external validation because she has built an internal world that sustains her. She does not mold herself to fit into a man's life. Instead, she allows him the privilege of fitting into hers. The paradox is this: the more she holds on to her independence, the more irresistible she becomes. The less she seeks to please, the more a man is drawn to her. Men may believe they want a woman who is always available, always says yes and prioritizes them above all else. But in practice, challenge and the absence of predictability ignite passion and maintain long-term attraction. The enduring relationships are not those where one person sacrifices everything for the other, but where both individuals keep their essence, pursuits, and own sense of self. When a woman understands this, she does not need to demand attention. She commands it effortlessly by being who she is. Therefore, the power of separation becomes essential in maintaining attraction and personal value in a relationship. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood. Many believe it means shutting down, withdrawing, or becoming indifferent. But true detachment is not about being cold or emotionally unavailable. It is about reclaiming your power. It is the ability to navigate life without allowing external forces to dictate your emotions. Doubt, anxiety, and frustration lose their grip when you learn to let go of the things that do not serve you. It is in this space of emotional independence that true freedom is found. When a woman embraces detachment, she stops chasing what is not meant for her. She no longer begs for love, validation, or approval. She understands that forcing anything, a relationship, an opportunity, or a connection, only leads to stress, disappointment, and resentment. She realizes that what is meant to stay in her life will stay effortlessly, and what is meant to leave will do so, regardless of how tightly she tries to hold on. This shift in mindset allows her to move with clarity, grace, and peace. Instead of being consumed by what she cannot control, she focuses her energy on what she can: her growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Detachment does not mean she stops caring, nor does it mean she stops feeling. It simply means she refuses to let external circumstances dictate her well-being. A woman who masters detachment is a woman who cannot be easily shaken. She does not overanalyze every interaction or waste time trying to decode mixed signals. If someone is inconsistent, she does not internalize it as a reflection of her worth. If a relationship no longer serves her, she does not cling to it out of fear or insecurity. Instead, she moves forward confidently, knowing her happiness does not depend on another person's actions or choices. This kind of woman attracts what is truly meant for her. Because she does not seek validation from others, she naturally draws in people who respect her for who she is rather than for what she can offer. She creates an environment where love and connection flourish without pressure, expectation, or desperation. She understands that genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, not the need to prove oneself. The more she lets go of the need to control outcomes, the more effortlessly things fall into place. Emotional freedom is one of the most potent gifts she can give herself. It removes unnecessary stress, allows her to move through life quickly, and enables her to create a fulfilling reality. Whether love comes or goes, whether situations change or remain the same, she stands firm in her energy, unshaken by the chaos of the outside world. She does not live in fear of loss because she understands that nothing genuinely meant for her will ever require her to beg, force, or manipulate. And in this space of quiet confidence, she finds a sense of peace that no external factor can take away. Detachment isn't about not caring, it's about being free. Free from the need to control, emotional dependence, and the pain of attachment. When you stop gripping so tightly, life flows effortlessly, and the right people, relationships, and opportunities align naturally. A woman who embraces detachment exudes confidence, moves with certainty, and becomes genuinely magnetic. Not because she's trying to be, but because she has already chosen herself. Remember, detachment is strength, about emotional independence, not playing games. Confidence and energy matter more than words. Men are drawn to a woman who knows her worth. Overanalyzing destroys attraction. The right things don't need excessive thinking or decoding. Silence is powerful. Reacting emotionally gives away control, while restraint shifts the dynamic. Men value what they earn. Being too available kills attraction, while independence keeps it alive. True freedom comes from letting go. A woman who doesn't attach her happiness to external factors becomes unstoppable. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How has detachment changed your relationships or your sense of self-worth? Share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on self-improvement, confidence, and relationship dynamics. See you in the next one.